Okay, now that we got technical difficulties out of the way. Okay, so my name is Britta. I'm a Shopify mobile developer. I'm currently working in React Native, and my special interests are in animations and accessibility. And so today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to use the screen reader already in your pocket. So who here has used the screen reader on their phone? Give me a woo. Okay, so that's more than I expected. That's great. So we obviously know accessibility is super important, but besides the legal and ethical aspects of accessibility, we do want to make sure that we keep in mind that at any point, you too can become part of that community. Whether it's going through older age and losing your hearing, or maybe you get into an accident. For example, my grandmother lost her vision, and through the DNA testing, I have discovered that there's a high probability that I too will be fully blind. So if you're not going to do it for future you, maybe do it for me. So a quick reminder, screen readers are not the only accessible feature out there. There's plenty to pay attention to, and so make sure you're developing for all of these things. I'm just going to focus on screen readers because I have 5 minutes. Also, not all screen reader users are 100% blind. Make sure that when your announcements are done, that they're actually accessible to a range of visions. So let's talk Voiceover and TalkBack. So Voiceover is iOS's built-in screen reader, and you probably guessed it, TalkBack belongs to Android. So there's some differences between the two. I'll be highlighting a couple. I'll teach you kind of how to use both. I'll get you learning about what you actually need to be listening for when you're using these screen readers. And we'll actually get your devices, like your phones, we'll pull them out, get your setup on the shortcuts, and we'll get them turning off and on, so you'll be able to use it. Okay, so let's talk about navigation. You'll see that there's a selected item, and you can actually swipe through left and right, just like Tinder. Swipe through, get all your, navigate to different buttons, or elements, I should say. You can also drag your finger across the screen to hear the different elements. When it comes to activating, such as clicking a button, you just double tap. Also take note that you don't actually have to double tap the element itself, you just double tap the screen. I'm not sure if it's visible there, but I do have the tap feature on so you can see where I was tapping. For scrolling, this is actually where things differ for iOS and Android. For Android, use 2 fingers. You can scroll up, you can down, side, left, right. You also actually hear different sounds if you go up and down or left and right. For iOS users, it's actually more of a swipe motion than a scroll motion. And you'll be using 3 fingers, not 4, 3. And for app switching, Android's got it super easy. You got that bottom menu bar, so you're just going to use it like any regular button. You're going to navigate to one of those elements in the bottom bar and double tap anywhere on the screen to activate it. For iOS, assuming you don't have the home button, this is where things get a little complicated. You're actually going to start on the bottom of the screen, work your way it's about a third of the way up, but you'll hear 2 rising tones, and that will bring you to home. If you go all the way up, you'll actually get to the app switcher, and you'll actually hear 3 tones instead. So what are you actually listening for? So when it comes to elements, are they saying their role? Are buttons saying that they're buttons? Are headers announcing that they're headers? Do the states say their states? So think like radio buttons, checkboxes, are they ticked, unticked? Even disabled buttons, do you know from hearing that that button is not usable? Is there an element being read out loud? Think about alt text on your images. Is there an animation where a button appears that wasn't announced that it was appeared? Can you even access all the elements? So in React Native, for example, you can use the accessible prop, and that actually groups elements together. And on iOS, it means that you can't access the items inside. It'll collapse everything. So let's everyone get their phones out. I see no one grabbing their phones out. Come on, phones out. I want to get your, okay, and you're going to go to settings, and you're going to go to accessible. If you're on Android, I want you to go in the TalkBack section. There's a toggle that says TalkBack shortcut. On iOS, you're going to go to accessible shortcuts, which is at the very bottom of the accessibility, and you're going to check off Voiceover. And this is really important that we set it up this way so that you can turn it on and off. So if you get stuck in your app or in your website, you can actually get out of it really quickly. And once everyone's got that done, I'm going to get you to turn them on. It's going to be mass chaos for the next 15 seconds. So to turn on for iOS, you're going to triple click the side button. And for Android, you're going to hold the volume up and volume down. I'm hearing some of them. And now you can kind of play around with it. So thanks so much. That was the end of my talk.